So at that time, ODI was decided to be the strategic reporting platform for the new merged company. So we implemented BI app 7963 with the ODI 11.1.3 alongside EBS version 12. And as you can see, along with ODI, we implemented financials, project, HR, and procurement and spend, all those BI app stack. Right. So along with those four out-of-the-box modules, we also have two homegrown systems called CIS, Custom Information System, and Target Market. We also bring that data into our data warehouse, and it's tightly integrated with the BI apps data. At that time, all the associate had access to ODI. It's a self-service module. Everybody had access to, and we are around. So we did not use a single out-of-the-box delivered dashboard. The BI apps, because our needs were totally different. So at this point, we have close to 12 dashboards. Each dashboard has more than 8 to 10 pages, 100 plus scanned reports, and we have around 50 to 60 super users who have their own flavors of ad hoc analysis. And we also do a push for, we actually, if I get the number right, maybe close to 100 and 150 reports are pushed to the users who do not want to log into the system. So it's heavily used, BI apps. It's actually, as you said, it's a main reporting system, main management reporting system for a platform. Again, we have overnight ETLs which run from EBS R12, and as I said, from the CIS and Target Market. So this is our existing architecture. You can see on the orange color kind of blocks are our source environment, Oracle R12, all the models are listed. There is the CIS. There is also a talent directory, which is another interface which we bring. And the middle one is the data warehouse, where we have all our tables, data warehouse stored. And on the other side, you'll probably see how the data or information is consumed. On the first blue blocks is the ODI block. On the ODI block, we have the dashboards, HR dashboard, financial dashboards. Then we use the BI publisher basically to send the push reports to all the other users who do not want to log in. And then you'll see another one small block called ED query. So that we had to do because our finance users are, if you guys know, they all love Excel, right? So they basically wanted to download tons and tons of data. We are actually downloading, if you guys are aware of subledger accounting in EBS, every month our finance team downloads the whole subledger accounting from our data warehouse because our ERP system does not want to get in there, right? So of course, if you download so much data, ODI is not going to support that, right? The front end piece at least. So we developed this ED where basically it's a Java interface. You put on your request, and then you send in parameters. It goes to the data warehouse, runs the query. Of course, we have Exadata, so the query is better. Pulls the data, zips it up, and based on whatever you request, either an email or a repository, wherever it sends that. So that is what we are using for transaction and heavily downloading reports. And the other ones are for, as I said, push and the consumptions. Now, we did the merger, we were stable, we were about to everything else. But this January again, another merger was declared with Willis Insurance and Towers Watson. And therefore we became Willis Towers Watson. Right now that increased our associates or employees from like 13,000 to 38,000. And the presence went from like 40 countries to like 120 countries. Again, same thing, ODI was decided to be the strategic platform for all the reporting needs, and that's going to be continued what we have right now. Now, as part of that, there was some changes to be made in the system-wide, like our financial year for Willis Towers Watson is now from Jan through December, versus Towers was July through June. So there were some other changes like that. If you see the chart of accounts change we had to do. Before that, before we bring all the other entities from the merge into one single platform. So we made that change last year, sometime in October. Our calendars were changed in EBS, our chart of accounts were changed, and then we had to change accordingly in our EPM reporting system too. Now what happened was, ODI was the R12 version came in, and a lot of our users, especially super users, saw the visual data analyzer, power of visual data analyzer, and they were like, oh, we want this, we want to get to this. Now EBS also decided to upgrade their version to 12.2.5, and then in that situation what was decided that okay, since EBS is also upgrading, why don't we get to OBI R12 too, and get our BI app stack migrated from 7.9.6.3 to 11.1.10. Now, as these guys talked about, of course there is no Informatica, right, and it was ODI only. Now we have close to 650 ETLs which we have customized for all our reporting needs or all the other things. Now the timeline for EBS upgrade was like 8 months. They were actually going live in this October. And what was told to us also was you have this 6 or 7 months if you want to get to OBI R12 too, and for that. So we said, okay, there is no way basically we can migrate all our changes, possible changes right now in that timeline. It's obviously not possible. It's huge complex. If you guys know the HR BI apps, ETLs, how the workforce is complicated, you probably will get an idea how complex that is. So we were thinking, what can we do, right? There was no way. People gave us estimated at least 13 months, 14 months with all your in-house skills, or even if you hire some third-party vendors to do it, it's not going to be less than a year. We don't have that time. So luckily, last year we were also here, and by that time Willis Towers Watson merger was not announced, but we were still back of our mind thinking that we should migrate our BI app stack. This has not been done for the last 6 years or so. And we happened to come across Jade's booth where we went to this demo where we saw that tool where it actually converted, and we actually saw it physically and saw it converting, and I give an Informatica ETL into an ODI close to 90%, 99% with our complex one. So we presented that to our management saying, okay, we call it a risk or we call it whatever. Here is a company, here they have an ETL tool, conversion tool, that can do our stuff based on whatever they say in like less than 5 months. What do you say? Like, do we take this risk, or do we do, or we don't go to OBI R12? But we have to go to OBI R12. Then we decided to talk to a couple of their customers whom they have, because we are mainly worried about if they know about BI apps. Okay, custom ETLs, small Informatica ETLs, fine, but our problem is the BI apps out of the box ETLs, the complex ETLs, right? So we then decided, we talked to them again, try to get the confidence back again, get the POC done, as he said, Amit, that they do the POC, and it looked okay. And we engaged Jade in sometime early March or whatever, and here we are, it's less than 5 months, all the 650 ETLs converted and ready to move to in ODI, and we are in line to get to our target to OBI R12 in October along with that. Yes. Right. So actually we would like to thank these guys. It's really, and our management is really happy with what had happened, and they really are. So if you say from a 12 months to 13 months project is like cut down to 4.5 months, and we are where we can see we can achieve our goals for upgrade. Now again, as I said, why did we did Jade? Because we had an experience with them, with our partner. They knew what they were talking about, Informatica to ODI, what Informatica structure is, what ODI architecture is basically, and all that stuff. And again, it was an automated tool, basically less manual intervention, less error possibilities. We were only left with testing the data and not to worry about the code and how the code has been handled and whatever. We just have to make sure, and of course, even if it's an automated tool, there will be some kind of functionality you may have to enter into. But that's okay, that we could handle, or they could help us deliver it later. But the 99.9% efficiency and performance wise, everything was perfectly done. And yeah, and they were very flexible too, because we have a very challenging environment. First, we are on an OMCS, so it's the request turnaround is very, it's not, SLA is not immediate. So if you any request, like 2 to 3 days. Plus our security is very, network guys are very stringent. They don't allow anyone to just come in. They have an onshore offshore model. So those guys had to come into our Windows machine, a remote control from there, log into MCS on demand. So there were challenges, heavy challenges, performance issues, but those guys got over it. Probably initial hiccups about the setting of the network, but that was it. I think after that they were very efficient, the tools were done, and I think it was perfectly done. And that's it, I guess. Alright, thanks.
Thanks, Alen.
Yeah.
With that, I think we have a couple of minutes for Q&A if you have any questions.
How does your cost licensing work? Does it do you license just the tool or